Welcome to the November 2025 meeting of the Fall River Redevelopment Authority. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recording or transmission are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. First item is our roll call. John Erickson.
Ron Rusin.
Ben Feidelberg.
Joan Maderas. Ann King.
Thank you. Also joining us are Sarah Page, Executive Director, John Coughlin, Legal Counsel, Ken Fiola, Administrative Consultant, and Karen Martin, our Project Manager. First item, approval of open session minutes from October 22, 25. If there's no comments on those minutes, I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Vote to approve the October 22nd, 2025 open session minutes.
Second? Second. John Anderson, yes.
Second.
Yeah, I said yes.
Ron Rusin, yes.
Already second, actually.
Ben
Yes.
Feidelberg, yes.
Joan Maderas, yes. Ann King, yes.
Thank you. You guys have the warrant, which Joan went through, which is total disbursements of $50,715.35. I'll entertain a motion to approve the warrant if there's no questions.
Motion to approve the November warrant in amount of $50,715.35.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
John Erickson, yes.
Ron Rusin, yes.
Ben Feidelberg, yes.
Joan Maderas, yes. Ann King, yes.
Thank you. Let's see, next item is the 2024 audit. Karen?
Yeah, the only thing that I wanted to update you on there is I got word from the retirement board and the city auditor that the PIRAC report that allows them to finalize that allows the retirement board to finalize their numbers and audit for 2024 is probably not going to be finalized until February of 2026. So that will delay, because we take what's in their audit and put the retirement numbers into our audit before we can finalize it. So it will not probably be finalized until February at the earliest. We did get a draft report, I think last week, from CLA, and I've started to go through that. I don't think there's anything glaringly any issues with what's in there so far, so, but I'll keep you posted as that PIRAC report comes out, but I just figured I'd let everybody know, so.
Okay. Cathodic protection,
Oh,
Norwood here.
yes, okay, so cathodic protection, the change order one work for all the coating there in the upper zones of the bulkhead. The work, I talked to the project manager today, by the beginning of next week, it should be all done. And so next week, we're gonna be reaching out to Carlos from Foth Engineering to schedule a final inspection. Kavanaugh will take them out on the boat and they'll do a final inspection of all of that. So I'm hoping by our next board meeting, there'll be a final requisition and release of retainage for everything. So that should be done and wrapped up for winter.
Okay. Northfield Point revetment, moorings.
The revetment work is ongoing. I don't know if anyone's been down there, but the stonework is proceeding along. This has been a really good week this week and into next week with the tides at low tide. So he's been trying to get ahead of placing the final finished stone by putting the toe in, which generally will be underwater, so it's easier to do it when it's not underwater. Plus it's a little warmer. You're not getting soaked working down there, so he's been kind of getting ahead with getting the toe in place, and then he's backing it up with the final stone. We've got a meeting out there with the engineers. Today he was finalizing like a roughly 50 to 100 foot section of what he wants to get approved as what the final finished product will look like, and so hopefully we'll be able to get that approved tomorrow. So that's progressing along. It looks like at the rate he's going, we're hoping to be maybe pretty much done with the revetment by the middle of December. I'll be confirming that at the meeting tomorrow, but he's making pretty good progress, and if he can get those toes in, because that's what really pretty much is going to stabilize the slope and takes a little bit longer to do. You have to be a little more finesse. Other than that, you're just using the stone as puzzle pieces along the embankment. So I'll have better handled by our next meeting, maybe it'll be predominantly done by then also. The other good news is the Executive Office of Economic Development has funded our $125,000 earmark that was secured by Representative Fiola. And we've got word this week that we are gonna be getting the contract documents imminently, and we'll get those processed so we can start drawing down against that money. And we have a vote in the agenda to authorize Johnny to sign those contract documents, so.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to authorize the chair to sign all these contract documents associated with the $125,000 fiscal year 2026 earmark from the Executive Office of Economic Development.
Can I just ask a question as to what, I should know this, but what's the 125 being used for?
The revetment,
It's part of the revetment?
yes,
Okay. So there's additional monies that we've set aside for that?
yes.
Okay.
Motion to authorize the chair to sign all contract documents associated with the $125,000 for year 2026 earmarks from the Executive Office of Economic Development.
Second,
Second.
John Erickson, yes.
Ron Rusin, yes?
Ed Titleberg, yes.
Joan Maderos, yes. Dan King, yes.
Thank you. Next item is, we have a, in the package, we have a draft of the event application that Karen
So,
and
yeah,
Sarah
so
have been working on.
I sent out in the board package what we're kind of considering as of now pretty close to a final event application. I had the rental rates and the insurance requirements in there. And the only thing that would still need to be put in there, we still need to finalize the submission of the Chapter 91 amendment for private events at the City Pier, and that's in process now with Beta. And then we also, it was recommended by our insurance company to have, once we know we're gonna approve an event based on the details that they've given us, an individual license agreement, which references the event application. But, so this would be what would, once we know that this is approved, we're gonna go ahead, we would issue this to the event applicant, and it would be executed, and they would then be responsible for all the insurances and all the things that are in the application itself. The only other final thing that we have to do, did anyone have any questions on either of those documents?
No, not in the documents.
Okay, and then the only thing we need to do is Beta just gave us a proposal for $4,500 to finish the two submissions that we need to do to Mass DEP for the Chapter 91 amendment to our agreement for events at City Pier. Like right now, we have, the agreement is for public use events only, and what we're applying for now is for private event use. So we're doing a separate request for the South Coast event in June, and then we're doing a second request for general private events at City Pier. And it's kind of presumed that as part of the permission, if granted, there will be conditions that they will want us to adhere to. And whatever those conditions are, we'll make sure they're incorporated into the application. So,
Karen, could you do me one favor?
yes.
Under the estimated fee in the narrative, it says 5,500, but the two line items total 4,500. So could you just
Oh, geez.
initial that, exit, and correct it, and initial it, and send it back to them?
In the, where you're
When you
looking,
read, when you read the narrative under estimated fee, it says not to exceed $5,500. Then when you look at the breakout of the project tasks, it only.
oh, okay.
4,500.
Oh, okay, that's Beta's, yep. All right, hold on, it's right here.
How do we determine what private function we'll allow and what one we won't allow? Who's gonna make that decision?
We are.
As a board?
Yeah, so when we get these applications,
Yeah.
so I think what we're gonna have to do is, once we know what Mass DEP is gonna allow and not allow, we, as a board, will have to make a decision, like, how many events that we think should be really held out there of any magnitude. Because the one thing that we don't want is, yeah, it'd be great to have, events all the time, but City Pier wasn't built to be able to withstand events all the time. All that pretty green grass
Yeah.
can go away pretty quickly with, you throw down a couple of dance floors, you throw down, a lot of traffic going over it, even just foot traffic, never mind, truck traffic, setup traffic and all of that. So we're gonna have to kind of gauge, in my mind, I don't really think we should have more than maybe 1 to 2 big events a month in the peak season. Because I just think that the amount of damage that the city pier could be exposed to be not worth it, because it's just gonna raise our maintenance fees. So, you're never gonna get ahead on that. So I
I
think-
think DEP is gonna be looking for a number from us. I don't think,
Yeah.
I think they're gonna.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That was one of the questions I was gonna actually ask Beta, because,
Yeah.
You mean how many?
Like a not to exceed number?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what they're gonna be looking at. So we get 2 issues, right? We get the South Coast one, that's a separate thing, that we're
Yeah.
trying to get permission for
for
general
general,
use.
yeah.
And I think they're gonna say, okay, how many events are you looking to accommodate, right? And that's what they're going, if it's 6, if it's 7, if it's 5, whatever it is.
I think the thing that we should probably think of is like, there's a peak season and like a non-peak season, right? So your peak season would probably be late April through late September.
I don't know what the demand for the rental is for this
I don't
facility.
either.
I can't see it being exceptionally high. Right, at 2,000 a pop, is that what it is?
Well, yeah, and I think that rate was, you,
I think that's a good rate.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we should lower it. I
Right.
think so, but I'm just not saying.
it's not gonna be for every Joe Blow to have his, a
Correct, so I
function out
think you
there.
probably, I don't know, I have no idea. You wanna ask for more than you wanna be able to accommodate the first year. You wanna have some flexibility there. So is it 8? Is it something like that? I don't know. Do you wanna have them prior to Memorial Day, and do you wanna have them after Columbus Day or Veterans Day? I don't know.
All the events that we've had have been June, July, and August.
Right.
And the only thing we've done in September is like yoga.
Right, but those don't need.
Yeah, those don't need, those were city
We're not
sponsored, they
we're not
did it.
closing areas down per se,
Right,
right?
right. So, I mean, but, that would, do we wanna preclude like we talked about at one point, putting a skate park, ice park out there in February, March or something, you know what I mean? Like they do something like that, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know who would sponsor that, but,
I think there's a skating rink being proposed for another location on the waterfront.
oh, really?
Uh,
Hmm?
It's pretty cold and windy on the city.
Yeah, it's cold and windy.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be out there, I'm not gonna say that, but there's some people who like that weather, so. There's Eskimos amongst us.
I think you just gotta see what happens this first year and see.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we just come up with a number
Some
that
of them
gives
are
us
6,
those-
8, 10, something.
I would say like, yeah, I mean, because the thing is that I can't see running a big function every weekend at City Pier. By the
No.
time you take it down, you need to.
I don't think it
let
should
things
be
breathe.
more than
2 a month, yeah, 2 a
Right,
month would be
2 a
what I
month
would say.
maximum, and then, because that's gonna be a lot of wear and tear on that facility.
Yep,
And then, but yeah, maybe an 8's a number, I don't know.
What if we said, no more than 2 a month, not to exceed
10,
10 over the course of the season?
Yeah,
You know,
pick a number,
if we
yeah.
consider the season May through October.
that would make sense, actually. I mean, I think that, and I think we could always, if we see that the City Pier is taking on too much damage, we can always just scale it back.
Mm.
And I think part of it's gonna be too, is like how much rain is it getting? How much, is it drying up? Because, there's Mother Nature plays a big
Right,
part of all of that
right.
too, so. All right, so we'll say 2 per month,
Well, in the Chapter 91 license, like Ken said, that's the max, right? So
Yeah.
you wanna ask for what you want. You don't have to use them all.
Right.
no, right,
But once they give you that number, it's gonna be hard to go back, I think,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
So I'd be careful about limiting it too much, or only to certain times of the year, because then if you wanna do something in December and DEP doesn't like you, I'd be careful about restricting it too much, I think.
Right.
I mean, we can internally restrict it
So
and
maybe
say, we're
say-
only gonna allow people, but
yeah.
for the 91 license, I don't think you wanna go too,
So I could just say 2 per month and see.
I don't know.
I mean, or
2
or
per
do.
month, no more than 10 per year or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I think-
And then we can
Yeah.
decide, all right, we're only gonna allow people May to October, but if DEP puts that in their license, then you're stuck with that, you know?
2 per month, maximum 10 per year.
Something like that.
Okay.
12 per year.
Well, I don't even think you gotta limit it to 2 per month, just 10.
10 per year.
Right, because who knows?
Maybe
right?
one month
Okay.
you want 3.
Right, just give
July.
yourself some
Yeah.
flexibility.
All right, and then we'll.
I think internally, we probably don't wanna have more than 2 per month, but
10
let's
per
keep it
year
open.
seems
We
like
wanna yeah.
pretty decent.
Okay.
right?
So that doesn't include like the kite night and the
No.
fireworks and all that, right?
No, because those are the
Public.
the public city-sponsored
The other thing,
events.
this is gonna only pertain to
Private.
Closing it for
restricting
private.
the area of the green space, right? Because even in these
Oh.
events, the sidewalks are gonna always be open.
Who's
Perimeter, so
responsible for the cleanup?
They would be, it's part of the application,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm
These are
making them
private
give us a
events that
$5,000
close the
deposit
pier.
too.
Right.
Karen, is that your note about it having the wrong statute there? Is that-
Oh, yeah, I just put that because that was based on my discussion with Laura, that the license should be the 13998, not the WWO
Okay.
89.
Shocking.
Yeah, so Ron, I just need a,
Not when I have a full mouth, please.
Motion to approve amendment number 5 to Beta Group agreement to complete the submission of the modification for our 2-hour Chapter 91 license for events at North City Pier for a cost not to exceed $4,500, and to authorize the chair to sign amendment number 5 for up to 10 per year. Do you want to add that into the motion?
Well, no, because we don't know what DEP is gonna approve.
Okay.
So we'll ask for that, and then once we get the license back,
Yeah.
whatever they approve, we'll go from there.
Right, strike 10 per year.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just got a question that may not be applicable to that vote, but, so South Coast use application, they're charging us 2,000,
To submit it, yes.
and we're charging South Coast 2,000. So we're not making any money. Right,
South Coast is charged?
South Coast doesn't really know what they're being charged yet.
well, and
Yeah.
but according to the application fee, a
Right.
nonprofit would be 2,000, right?
Yes.
Right, so,
Right, but they're
An exception
using
to
it
the
numbers-
norm.
a number of days.
Hmm?
South Coast has it for a few days.
Yeah, so South Coast, technically it's $2,000 a day, and South Coast is taking it for 4 days.
okay, so it's $8,000.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yes.
just want to make sure. Did they
What-
know that?
What's the 2,000 you're
No,
talking
they
about?
don't know that
No,
yet.
they don't. They may
So you're
now,
gonna-
once this goes
So, I just want to
forward.
make sure we understand this, right? So we're charging them from, you're going to be closing that off for 4 days?
Mm-hmm. No, well, they're
Well-
gonna be doing setup for 4 days. We're only,
Okay.
the
so-
application's only asking
And
for
we're
the.
not closing anything off, we're not closing the walkways off except for the 4 hours of the event.
Correct.
Yes.
I don't know, there just seems something's not right there, I'm not sure what it is, but I
They've-
think that's exceptionally high for a setup of 2,000 a day when they're not really utilizing it. And I don't see how it's going to take 4 days to set up.
That's
what are
what
they doing?
that's what
What
they've
do-
asked for.
I don't know, it seems high.
They're putting
but-
up a tent, or what are they putting up?
Yeah, tents.
That's what they've asked for.
Yeah,
South Coast Hospital, South Coast
Coast.
Hospital.
yeah.
Do you think we should be charging less for the days of setup and takedown?
I would think that during the days of setup, it's probably a little less because the perimeter, the walkways are gonna be open, right? In this instance, but they also need to provide security, right?
Yes, they will.
Right, for if they're gonna be setting up, whatever they're doing, I think we gotta have some security there that they would pay for, because otherwise,
They would have to provide their own security.
Correct.
Yes.
correct.
Overnight? Or just, so 24 hours for 3 days, they have the high security?
They would, I would think just,
It's
they
their-
they
they're
wanna have
putting it there,
security
whatever
there
they put there is
anyway.
at their own
If they're gonna have
risk.
equipment
Yeah.
there, or
Yeah.
if they're gonna have whatever, I think, you wanna have, we don't wanna be responsible for that.
That's about another $12.50 per day for security.
So I would think that,
That's
you know,
there, that's
Yeah.
on them.
yeah, I just think that maybe the setup days is a little relief, I don't know,
Mhm.
because it just
I think
seems to
that
be
makes sense.
harsh as opposed to the day that the function's actually on. There's gotta be some differentiation between function day and setup day, I think, I don't know.
Well, some.
Nobody else differentiates on their applications.
Well,
Well, it's unusual to do 4 days. I mean, most people are either in and out in a
Not the same day.
No,
Even Patrick well,
but 2 days is,
Narrows has it down to about a day and a half.
Right,
Yeah.
that's a state.
Like they do a little bit the day before, then they have the big day, and then they take stuff out the next day. But like 4th of July starts setting up the day before. Like a lot of the bigger ones, like like when the symphony was out there,
yeah.
they had a full day of setup before and a full day of takedown after.
And can people use it? They really can't use it while they're.
Yeah, they can walk
No,
around.
they
Yeah,
can.
they walk around.
Not the grassy area though, just the,
Well, for like the symphony, it was only they could, the north side where they set up, they couldn't be on the grassy area. But Mass DEP is only concerned about the public walkway being open 24/7.
And most of the time, an event is on the north pier and the south pier is open with
Mhm.
walkways and grass open.
I don't know, I think if you start charging 2,000 a day for setup,
Well, I think once we know what all the conditions
Yeah.
are that come back from Mass DEP, we can talk about what
Yeah.
we want to do for.
I think that would have a chilling effect on some things.
we haven't voted to finalize this.
No,
Yeah,
I'm just,
okay.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So maybe you make it like 50% on the
Yeah.
days you're setting up.
So Karen, South Coast already knows those numbers?
No.
No.
Maybe if they watch this meeting, they will, but other than that, no. No, because I don't know what the final conditions are gonna be, if there's gonna be anything else that Mass DEP comes up with. So she knows that there's gonna be some fee, she knows there'll be an application to fill out, so they're just waiting.
Okay, so this will be modified anyway at some point.
Yes, yep.
Did anybody second that?
Second what?
Nope,
Motion.
there's no motion, nope.
No.
The motion, no second yet.
Oh, the motion for the beta change, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm back.
The 4,500
I'm
max.
back with you.
Did you,
I did make the motion, yep, no second. Second, Joan, yep.
okay, John Emerson, yes?
Ron Rusin, yes.
Ben Federer, yes.
Joan Maderis, yes.
Okay, thanks. Let's see, next item is Pleasant Street, Sarah.
So the first news is that we worked with other folks around the state and Mass Inc. to put in comments on the proposed regulations for both housing and the urban renewal plan. And so the state decided to change a number of regulations to speed up housing development and minimize environmental review to do that, and to minimize the review of urban renewal plans. And we're waiting to see if those are approved. We know that some environmental groups may have written comments that were not supportive. We believe a lot of supportive letters went in, or testimony. They were taking testimony. So Mass Inc., with a lot of us assisting, put in a letter from our network of economic development people around the state, with many mayors signing, including Mayor Coogan, saying these regulation changes are really advantageous and they should be approved. And the MIPA also put out a special review procedure. I guess it's also would be added to MIPA regulations, and it would be another option. And you've heard us talking about the special review procedure approach for the Duval Street land as a way to work with MIPA. They proposed this as another option for reviewing urban renewal plans. And we understand Tori Kim is saying, the director of MIPA, Tori Kim, is saying that any city redevelopment authority like us, like New Bedford, that already had our urban renewal plans in the process, are not going to be able to just not finish the process and go with the new regulation because we're already in process. So she would use the special review procedure with us. And it's more complicated, and we and a lot of folks put in comments that said it's still more complicated for an urban renewal plan than it should be. So we don't know how that will come out, but we do now know that we're going to be expected to go through some more process to get our urban renewal plan approved, even though the regulations are changed broadly. So if we go in to do a big, significant amendment of our urban renewal plan, it would not have to go through that huge MEPA review. It would just be a simple process, the way it used to be. So that is all going to get decided in December, so probably we won't bring it to a meeting before the January meeting, but it's possible we would know by the 18th. So the good news is that we really are getting changes that will be helpful for housing across the state and for urban renewal plans. So then the other update is that we've been working with the city to apply to make the Pleasant Street corridor in the Flint neighborhood a TDI district, like the TDI districts that we had in downtown. And so Fall River had TDI districts for 7 years, and it's very possible we're not going to be competitive for that reason, and because some cities have not had TDI districts and they're hoping they may apply, and they're only funding 6 this year. So we put in effort that I think will have long-term benefit even if we don't get approved to have a TDI district. We've gotten a lot of partners together, and we used to have a partnership meeting once a month, and so we've got a whole really diverse group of partners committed. We have Family First Health Center, which is a big health center, very important in serving the neighborhood. Many of their employees live in the Flint and walk there. And so they're willing to be our fiscal intermediary to accept the funds that come from mass development and offer a free office to the fellow that we would get for 3 years, and let our group use their big conference room, and they're very excited about being part of this. And the previous executive director of Health First was really involved in our process in the beginning, and so it's really great that they're staying in there. Counselor oh my God, I'm forgetting his name.
Raposa?
Yes,
Raposo,
thank
yeah.
you. Councilor Raposo and his school and the church, Espirito Santo School and Church are really interested in staying involved. Lots of things have been going on in the parks, which we'll be talking about. So the challenge that we have is that we don't have all the partners you would want, but they only expected you only had to have 3, and we have many more, including the dentist that's been there for decades. And so I think we have put together a good proposal. Whether it's competitive enough is a whole other question. Some cities, I think, have new money that they're willing to commit. We're talking about the $1 million we got for Alden Street, the 1.7 for Pleasant Street. And the piece that I wanted to ask you about is in order to implement our urban renewal plan, we're probably going to spend 30 to 40 hours a month between Karen and me looking at property, moving various things forward. And so what we'd like to say in the proposal is that we're committing and investing significant staff time in this effort that will make a difference for both our urban renewal plan and the TDI district. And so I'm just wanting to make sure that that the board feels positive about that.
So are you asking for board assistance in that process, or?
Well, certainly we'd love it. Joan and Louis were both on our committee to work on the urban renewal plan for a long time. And if, you know, Ben, if you would be interested, I'd love to write your commitment in. I wasn't exactly asking for board commitment. I wanted to make sure the board was comfortable with our saying that our staff are committing 30 to 40 hours a month.
So you're gonna quantify
Right.
the in-kind,
work.
it's the in-kind, right?
That's right.
So you're gonna, 30, 40 hours a month is gonna have X amount of value
Mhm.
Yeah.
that you're going to be
Committing for 3
committing
years.
as an in-kind service.
Right.
Yeah, I'd put more of a dollar by what that what that 40 hours cost us, instead of just saying 30 to 40 hours, say, at a cost of per
Yeah.
month of whatever the salaries are that, you're
Yeah.
gonna be using of each.
And all of
Yeah.
our
And-
fringe and
Yeah,
Yeah.
fringe and supplies and all this other
Right.
crap, stuff.
OH&B.
I agree with that.
OH&B.
Great.
Noma?
Yeah, so an update on the North Main Downtown District, which we call NOMA, is that we had a really successful Thanksmas event on Saturday, and there were tents put up and down Purchase Street, food trucks, things for kids, crafts for kids, a number of restaurants that might not have been open were open, and it was a really lively event, and bodes well for that neighborhood and having those kinds of events. We had them in the summer, and this one had garlands with lights on every tent, and it really created a very festive atmosphere. Johnny was there. Do you want to say anything about it?
No, it was great. It was really, I mean, it's a great spot for it, too.
Busy?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was, you know, kind of cold, but it was kind of nice because it was sort of, felt sort of festive, like, you know, Christmassy sort of thing. But, yeah, there was a lot of people there and a lot of interesting, I bought a bunch of stuff, like, from the different artisans that had the different tents and things. They had all kinds of cool stuff they sold, and it was a lot of fun. It was nice. I actually have a video of it I can send to you guys, I think.
The people I know went, they loved it. The only suggestion they made was the lighting for some of the vendors. You know, as it got dark.
It was a little,
It was
yeah.
difficult to see what they were selling.
Yeah.
Right, so if the, you know, just moving forward with it, just something to keep in mind.
Yeah,
How many
we hoped
people
that that
attended?
would be addressed well, because that was always a problem when it was on Old Second
Yeah.
Street. And at least this time, it was a much more dressed up and
Yeah.
feeling more like a
Door will be
festive
Yeah, yeah,
event.
yeah.
But you're absolutely right,
Mhm.
lighting was a problem in some of the booths.
shops
And you kind of felt for the vendors, because you're having trouble seeing what they're trying to
Flash
sell.
out.
And a new store opened, so Bun Buds was sold. The person who had been running it, really young man, just out of college, he found being an entrepreneur and really running that store well, very demanding, and he decided to step back. He sold it to someone who owns a number of small kind of takeout restaurants like that. And so Joseph Holdeman feels really positive about that transition. And a new store went into where Time Blossom was, because Time Blossom moved to the much bigger space. and calls themselves Cafe Balboa. They were open during the event, and this new store is cheese and meats and condiments and a lot of locally made jellies and things that they think will go well as kind of a pop-up during the holidays. A lot of people were in there buying things. And their hope is it might get a license so they can sell wine. And then there really isn't a wine store downtown. So that's the long-term hope of that. And they did a great job.
Retail wine or consumption wine?
Retail. Yeah, it's not serving food, it's selling. And they have really special cheeses, and Saturday they were having us try all kinds of things.
I don't know if that's in the, remember there was certain,
The overlay district.
the, I don't know if that's in there.
I think it might be.
I'm not sure, there's an overlay district that
I think it
allows
is.
for,
I think it is, too.
is it just seasonal or if it's year round, I'm not
It's
sure.
year round, but I thought it was just beer and wine, but
I
that's
think it's
all.
just beer and wine, so that's something that, because I don't think, but that was to serve, that wasn't
I don't
retail.
remember. Let's go back and look.
Right, retail's difficult, right, because
You
there's
need
not a
a-
lot of,
They're
there's a
not
lot of turnovers in retail licenses.
Yeah, they're worth a lot of money.
So it's, I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I think those were serving
They
licenses.
may have been, because it was
As
trying to
opposed-
get, it was
They
trying to
wanted
get
to,
restaurants to open.
Right.
to motivate restaurants to
Yeah,
open.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right, it may not be a retail
Yeah.
license.
They should look at
Joseph
that.
thought it wasn't gonna be too hard to get, so he may know of that provision that you're.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Those are expensive,
Yeah.
and there's not availability.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember the last big to-do on that issue?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, yes.
And the other thing is, they're doing it as a holiday pop-up to test it
Yeah.
and see if it's really viable over the long term, which it may not be. But for the holidays, it should be a nice addition.
In the beginning, did you mention I missed, in the very beginning, did you mention the Viva shop?
Oh, the Viva shop is becoming a vintage clothing store, and it's supposed to be open around Black Friday. And Patty has, she's working at the Community Foundation and thinks that will be positive for Fall River because she'll be involved in doing a lot of the promotion that she's done before, and she'll promote Fall River. She's keeping the Viva website, so that will keep going, which is great. Lots of us know to go there every week and see what's happening. So, so that continues. And then our steering committee will be meeting on December 8th. I talked with the chief of police. She's willing to come to one of our steering committees and talk about safety in the district, which the businesses would really like. And our next full district meeting will be January 14th. So we're moving along.
Perfect.
Isn't there something on the 8th with Liberty?
Oh, yeah. So we're meeting later in the day with, we're
Steering.
meeting later in the day as a steering committee, but Derek at Liberty still hasn't completely confirmed the 8th. But I think we're going as a group to do a site visit in the morning on the 8th. And I need to confirm that with you all.
If there's no further matters for the open session, the chair makes a finding that open session would have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. The purpose of the executive session to approve the executive session minutes from October 22, 2025, and discuss strategy with respect to potential real estate transactions for properties located at 45 Anawan Street, Fall River, the Duval Street corridor, Fall River, and a potential real estate transaction for property in Innovation Way, Fall River, Mass. I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session, and we will not return to open session.
Motion to enter into executive session, and we will not return to open session.
Second,
Second.
John Erickson, yes?
Ron Rusin, yes?
Ed Feidelberg, yes?
Joan Maderis, yes.
Thank you.